Hi, sweetheart. Hey, baby. Hey. Uh, well, captain's log, huh? Squadron's log. Yeah, we're alone tonight. Christopher went out with his family to commemorate his father's 1 year anniversary of crossing over to the other side. So, hope they're having a real nice time. They went to his dad's favorite restaurant tonight, and Don Pepe's, remember? I took Christopher there for his 50th birthday. Seems like a million years ago. We got like a fucking 50-pound lobster or something. I felt so bad. They brought it out to the table alive to show us. This is the lobster we have tonight. Do you want this one? And it was his 50th birthday, and it was just me and him. We went there during a snowstorm, and Don Pepe's is a very happening, like, mobster joint. Really great Italian food, legendary here in Queens. And so I said, yeah, we'll take that one. But, it was weird seeing it alive and knowing that this lobster had to be hundreds of years old. How old was that lobster? Well, don't beat yourself up over. All right, I won't, but it's making me feel bad thinking about it. But we got plenty drunk on some really good wine and Sambuca and lots of real good espresso and lobster and stuffed lobster. It was amazing. Probably the best lobster I've ever eaten. And I know he enjoyed it. So Chris is like 60. How old is 60? He's 60. He's 4 years older than you, 3.5 years older than you. So he's 65, going to be 60. Is this his 66th year? Let's see. 2025 in January, he will be. Do you believe how retarded I am? No, I think he's 66. No, I think yeah, all right. I think you're right. He was born in 59. Yes, okay. 66. Yes, I guess. Yes. Okay. Right, so he was 65. Yes, Lena, he's 65. Right. Christopher's 65 now. He's 3 years older than me. And in January, he will be 4 years older than me until August, right? But whatever, it's like 3.5 years. Anyway, I'm glad he went out with his family because he really needed to step out. I need him to go out and for people to do nice things like take him to dinner. And that's what happened tonight. And me and John are having a really important evening alone to talk and did a lot of talking. And if you saw this morning's video, and we did, because we did this morning's video, William Shatner and Julie Cruz were our artists, our songstress and spoken word artists. I am so out of it. Christopher guessed it after we finished the video. He said that now those two, I believe that they're twin flames, if ever there were a pair, meaning Shatner and Julie Cruz. And I said, no, they're not twin flames. They just were guests today on the show. And John looks at me like, are you stupid? Are you that retarded, Lena? And I said, they are twin. Oh my God, Shatner and Julie Cruz are twin flames. Makes total sense. They're both a couple of fucking aliens, crazy entertainers in their very unique way, both of them. And, both addictive personalities and just incredibly suited for each other. William Shatner and Julie Cruz. Never made the connection all during the show this morning until after the show when Christopher had to be the one to tell me that he saw it very clearly. I says, Johnny, I am slipping. No. You have lupus. I knew there was something seriously wrong with me these last few months. What do I do now? You wait. You keep the regimen going that we're doing and you wait. There's nothing they can do for you in a hospital that you're not doing for yourself. Julie Cruz had lupus, and by the end of her life, 2 years ago, 2022, she committed suicide because of the pain and her inability to move and walk in a way that was not excruciating and hopeless for her to deal with. And her husband helped her. I'm sure it was some type of drug-induced overdose. She knew what she was doing. He knew she was doing it too, and it was what she wanted. And now, after reading the symptoms of lupus, I looked at John today and said, is this what I have? And he says that it is. And rheumatoid arthritis is just one of the deteriorating brain fog, inability to walk or move properly. And then you have days where you're in remission and then you're walloped again by a crazy array of these symptoms. And you don't know what it's going to be like from one day to the next. And you just know that it's not going to get better. And will probably only get worse. It can affect eventually your vision, your heart, your lungs. You're very weak. You have a lot of muscle weakness. So I've been working out like crazy, but it's like I pay for it and I really suffer afterwards. And John's been telling me to kind of lay off a little bit with you. Stop killing yourself with the workouts because that's not going to be really good for you to do that either. It's all right if you want to try to keep your muscle tone going, but please don't hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. And I've been really frustrated and trying to figure out why things weren't getting better for me. And, I mean, how do I get diagnosed? You've been diagnosed. You have lupus. And your lupus was brought on by an untreated and undiagnosed case of Lyme disease that you contracted about 40 years ago and never realized up until now that I've suspected Lyme disease a while already. But I thought I was combating it pretty well with, natural supplements. But it has occurred to me, the symptoms of the chronic fatigue and the brain fog and the pain and so on and so forth. So, I mean, part of me feels like, well, it has a name now, this thing. And my fall was a direct result of the knee joint deteriorating, causing me to dislocate both shoulders and nearly break my back. So I'm pretty fucked up. And I don't know, John. All you keep telling me is not to worry. We have I'm a guest on today, Julie Cruz. I never knew. I had no idea she'd crossed over. I thought she was still alive. I don't really know a lot about Julie Cruz except I love her music. I did not know she crossed over 2 years ago. I did not know she committed suicide, and I did not know she had lupus. And this is the nature of John revealing things to me as gently and as educationally as he can. And he brings guests in, and Julie Cruz explained to me after this morning's video, it gently explained to me that this is what I have. She also told me it's not going to be necessary for you to do what I did. In other words, to kill myself. I mean, I really don't want to kill myself. Right now, I have some very bad days where I beg John to take me home. And that's the extent of it. Johnny, can you please take me home? Do it while I'm in my sleep. But then I start thinking, well, I have to tie up loose ends. I still need to contact, I want my whatever Chris doesn't need. I want to go to children's hospitals, and I want to leave my half of my estate to White Eagle Foundation and some other charities, Laughing Pony Rescue. There are Tabby's Place. There are, and I haven't done any of that. So listen to this girl. Today is Giving Tuesday, and listen to the nature of what she's talking about after just finding out she had lupus today. She's can't kill herself right now. Are you hearing this, people? She can't kill herself, not yet, because she has to make all her plans to give her things away to those that need it the most. And then what? You're ready to... Then you can take me home. All right, so you want to get started with all that stuff? We have to sell the cabin. Chris won't sell it. Chris is not going anywhere. Chris doesn't have lupus. Chris is not begging to come home. You are. Yeah, but it doesn't work that way. Well, I'll tell you another way it doesn't work. Not in your case anyway. You're not killing yourself, honey. You're with Johnny. Please let me handle this. And what I can tell you is when you're having a bad day, please go to sleep for a few hours and stop trying so hard. Will you now listen to me when I tell you to stop trying so hard? Where you gotta be? Where do you gotta be right now? Maybe make a painting? Feed a cat? Those are things that can wait. You'll get to those things. There's nothing else important for you to do right now but honor your condition. You have to die before you can be reborn. And I'm in the process of getting you home so you can do just that. Now be brave. And don't worry about a little pain. Are you in any pain right now? No? Because you're lying still here with me. Don't worry, honey. We'll keep your circulation going. Everything will be good. Everything you're doing is good. I'm not putting you down for anything that you're doing. Just saying, let me take over a little bit more. And did you know I had this? I know a few things from out here, yeah. Is that why you've been so upset? Because you had to tell me this? Look, you knew there was something pretty badly wrong with you, right? Like that was really affecting you in a bad way. And you also knew that you had some kind of good days here and there, where at least you got yourself up in the chair and made yourself be creative in the kitchen and here and there. So you did so good on those days that I don't want to, yeah, discourage me, right? But when the pain is too much and you're still pushing yourself, I have to put my foot down. And not only that, mother and father said I had to tell you today. Listen, give it a name. She needs to hear it and she needs to read up on it. And she needs to understand what her body is doing. Yeah, the body attacks itself. It mistakes healthy cells and ligaments for the enemy and it like tries to kill them. Like it's a deterioration of your everything. Everything just starts deteriorating. Nerves, ligaments, tendons, muscles. Uh, you'll be all right. Shh, shh, shh. Yeah, because I was like, you know what? Other people fall and break shoulders and stuff, and then they get up again, and they go through rehab, and then they're like doing other things. Like, why is this keep getting bad? Like nothing is working out for me here. I'm trying so hard, doing everything right. This is karma too. If it's karma, then you're paying mine, and sorry about that. Oh, don't just please say that to me because I know that I'm not a perfect person, okay? I know that I have my own karma. I don't have to, you don't have to spare me my karma, John. This video is depressing as fuck. You know why I wanted you to make it? Why? Because wait until tomorrow morning and how different things are going to be and how great it's going to be. And then you look back at this and you say, look how bad it was. And today I feel so great. I'll do everything I want to do. And so I'll have a remission day tomorrow. You'll have more and more remission days as we figure out a new protocol for you. Oh, another new protocol. What could it be? Just more seaweed, honey? Nothing crazy, nothing earth shattering. Just, keep improving on the protocol that we're doing now. This is exciting. This is an exciting time for us. 1818. We're going to rebuild you. It's going to be so exciting. I'm sorry about all this, that it hurts so much sometimes. That's all right, John. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. Yes, I love you too. I wonder how Yoko is doing. Ugh. She's having a hell of a time herself, I'll tell you that. Well, please give her all my love. I will. That was funny watching that old Howard Stern show last night. John showed me an old Howard Stern show with May Pang and her husband, Tony Visconti, who they didn't stay married very long because all she did was talk about John. So, of course, he got sick of that. And she claims it's because he cheated on her. He cheated on her because all she ever did was talk about John. Even on the Howard Stern show, Howard was being really obnoxious. The show was from 1990. She goes on there with this low-cut fucking thing on, and she doesn't even act like Tony Visconti's her husband. All she does, she brings pictures of John Lennon, shoving them in Howard's face. This is the apartment we lived in together, and she's really not likable. I always say I feel sorry for May because she's like, she threw her whole fucking life into that John Lennon myth, but and like she never got over the fact that he dumped her. But it's like, after watching that Howard Stern show, I don't feel sorry for her. Yeah. Mission accompli. Yeah, yeah, she's a disgrace. Tony had to be crazy to marry her to begin with. Tony Visconti, record producer Tony Visconti. She made sure she married somebody high power in the business, but all she did was run around town trumpeting about being the one who slept with John Lennon for 16 months or whatever. And Howard said at one point, Howard Stern said to Tony Visconti, don't you? If I was married to her, that's all I would ever think about is that she had been with John Lennon. And he said, and Tony Visconti said, that is, I think about it a lot, like giving her a look, like, yeah, she won't let me forget it for a minute, yeah. And it was really pathetic. It was, yeah, you saw that and you were like, he's not going to stay married to her long. I don't even know why he married her. They had 2 kids together too, May Pang and Tony Visconti. But she's right with her husband sitting there. She's talking to Howard about that John was a great lover. That's a pig. She's being a pig. There's nothing nice about that. Then I was like, I just for the hell of it, I went and I looked at her website because she sells some kind of shit jewelry that like feng shui designs. I don't know. She got some designer to stamp her name on some line of feng shui medallions. And that she like gave one to Robin and then took it back. Like that was part of the story. One of the stories online. She was an Indian giver. Like she decided not to. She gave one to Howard, but then she didn't give one to Robin. And then she pretended to give one to Robin, and then she took it back. I don't know. I don't know what she did. She's something really cheap and weird that she did. And that's a couple of years after her divorce from Tony Visconti. So then, is this terrible to talk about? No, it's hilarious. You go to May Pang's website and she talks about herself in the third person. May is an amazing photographer, and meanwhile it's her website that she built. And like that's like, why are you talking about yourself like you're not that person? And then she goes, and then on one page there's a picture of her with all these kind of B-list or lower, like people who are not really celebrities, but just like kind of most of them looking like farty old wannabe hippies or something, but I don't know what the fuck, who they are. Like, I don't know their names. They're like nobody that John would have known, right? But like they're her pal arounds that she makes her, it seem like they're really happening people. And on her website, she says, May Pang, who has is known for her extraordinary capacity to love others. Who the fuck says that? Who is known for her extraordinary capacity to love others? It's ridiculous. What is she trying to say? Like, she's still trying to say in some strange way, because there's pictures of John still all over her fucking webpage. She's trying to say, she's still trying to make the public say, I am so loving, I would have been so loving to John, because she knows people love saying that. Oh, if he was with May, he would have been so much better off. It's like, those fucking May Pang fans are the worst. How they don't see through her and her bullshit, I have no idea. How do you feel about that? I think it's funny. I see. I can laugh at everything. Another thing I wanted to bring to your attention, the books by Bonnie Payne Clemay, who did the 1986 that we've been reading my poetry from. Right. You notice I did dedications and all those to all kinds of people in that book. Paul. Yeah, we didn't get to a lot of these. We're still going to be reading from John's books. There's stories about Paul, Richie, George. Yeah. And I mentioned Yoko, I mentioned my sons, I mentioned you. Who is the one person that never was mentioned in any of those? Right, May Pang, right? If I was, if I was so fucking crazy for that nut, right? Don't you think that and May Pang has gone on record saying that she went to visit John Edwards, the psychic, and he channeled John Lennon for her, and John Lennon let her know that he was still so in love with. First of all, John Edwards has been kind of exposed as being a bullshit psychic. I used to like him, but then he started becoming suspicious to me. When I before I became really psychically aware, when John Edwards had a TV show, I thought he was pretty good. But I see a lot of what he does as a gimmick. Yeah. And there's a lot he could be vaguely psychic, but he parlayed it into something else, and he's been exposed as being very fraudulent. I don't believe in being psychics for money or for going on TV and having a show and getting, like, famous from it. I think that's not healthy. I don't think it's, if you have a psychic gift, that you shouldn't do that, right? That's always been my gut feeling. People used to tell me I should get my own show. At one point, one guy in California called me and he wanted to, like, talk about it a little bit. And at right around that time, John was coming through, and John said, "No, please don't get involved with any of these people. Please, you just talk to me right now. I have things that I need to talk to you about, and the last thing you need is a TV show or reality show." Oh, seriously. It's funny, I haven't thought of that in ages, but yeah, you had to really educate me on how to harness your psychic power. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I wasn't always good at it either, because remember, we were kind of careless with the drugs and alcohol when I came through. Lena was still drinking pretty heavily, right? And I was drinking right along with her for all these years. Believe you me. That's the way twin flame energy operates in the 5D and above. We experienced with each other, and when Lena opened a bottle of wine, I was right there with her, feeling all the effects and having a grand old time. But it was kind of irresponsible after a while, and it had to end. Yeah. But at any rate, yeah, in the early days, John was really, had to really buckle down and tough love, 27, 27. Tough love, because he was enjoying himself too, but he's so sensitive to me that he doesn't want to upset me. Like, if he thinks if he perceives that I'm having a fun or having a good time, he doesn't want to be the one to bust up the party until it becomes, like, very serious and mother and father yell at him. And believe me, when that happens, I hear it too. And I'm like, oh, we're in trouble again. Just like our song, trouble. Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of notorious for getting in trouble here and there, but I think we've learned a lot over the last 10 years, and it's going on 10 years, baby, since that fateful night. Yeah, many a fateful night, but yeah, December 2013 / January 2014. That was our reuniting period, and it was 10 years ago. Over 10 years. This is going into the 11. Oh, the 11. Ah, you tricked me into saying 11, the twin flame number. 1 and 1. There's a lot to look forward to. Are you in a better place right now than you were before? Yeah, like, you have me nice and calm right now, and nice, and plus Christopher's bringing me home some escarole, so I'm excited about that because I love escarole from Don Pepe's. He's bringing home some escarole and some eggplant, and I'm fucking charged up about that. See, my appetite, I'm like Maggie. I could be dying, but, give me a plate of my favorite food and forget it. Me and Maggie are just the same. I believe you're right. Yeah. My little cat, she's hanging in there. Jesus Christmas. What's going on around here? Christopher better stay healthy, because otherwise we'll be up shit. Well, you relax. He'll be just fine. Yeah. You're gonna be just fine. You're fine. Come on, you got a couple of minutes for me? Yeah, sure, baby. For you, anything. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Praise be God and Mother. This has been an interesting evening, and it's already so again. William Shatner and Julie Cruz, twin flames.